love the sound of Young America. Alright, what do you got for us today, Sam the Eagle? Wayne and Wanda? The show-off, and other things to call people more talented than you. In your face, other production companies. Here at Show Off High, everyone's the center of attention. Our eggs are done! Oh, it's a class full of Foley artists. It's been hard for Susie since her classmates found out she's a replicant. Oh, hi.
My name's Kay Reynolds.
I don't believe you.
I know you and I go to different schools, but I think we have the same kind of problems.
You're addicted to hemorrhoid medicine, too?
This year, our class is in a terrible fix.
We can't say no.
And I thought if I could tell you about it, maybe you could help us.
This is where I'm supposed to pause.
Well, let's see. Why, we could start right here in this class.
Could we?
I remember it was just about a month ago, and Miss Baldwin was reviewing us for a quiz.
Everyone was wearing the same clothes.
We'll deal with the feudal system in Europe.
And what a feudal system it is. Thank you.
Material on page 106 through 136.
What a show-off.
Yes, Miss Baldwin?
Put it down, please.
Put what down, Miss Baldwin?
Oh, don't make it angry.
Yes, Miss Baldwin, all right.
Thought this was a free country, but okay.
Next part of our quiz will deal with the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. First, we will review the...
Oh, he's been assassinated.
Well, Miss Baldwin, this chair just suddenly collapsed with me.
I'm a victim of circumstance.
Frank, help him up.
If this is the best showing off this school has, they may need federal assistance.
This kind of school is getting me pretty dangerous, you know.
So Dane Cook wasn't funny in high school either.
We can't have any more of this. If you can't settle down and act your age, then I'll have to ask you to leave the room.
Well, Miss Baldwin, I haven't done anything. The chair just fell over with me. I don't see how that's my fault.
That's enough, Jim.
Not now, Miss Baldwin. The new material's killing.
Jim Brewster was like that.
A real douche.
He was really a pretty smart boy, I guess.
Oh.
But there was just something in him that made him always want to be the center of attention.
So you see, I had to kill him.
Oh, I suppose some of us did secretly admire him for doing the things he did,
Oh, sure.
and still staying out of trouble, even though he did interfere with classwork.
I'm going to go talk over here now. And go.
At first, what he did seemed amusing. But as time went on, well, let me tell you what happened next.
Here, I'll just read it.
It was the time of year for the junior class play tryouts. Most of the kids had been weeded out, and only the ones who were being considered for parts were there.
It's all politics, you know.
Surprised to see Jim Brewster?
Holy cow, yes!
Jim had talent, and for a while we thought Mrs. Jackson was going to give him the lead.
In Gypsy.
Mrs. Jackson directed the junior play, and she did it afternoons after school, on her own time.
As she often reminded us.
Sometimes I suspect it tired her out.
All right, let's take the living room scene in Act 2. Marie, will you read the part of Lorna Dugan?
Cookie magnate.
Harry, you read the part of Henry Carter.
I mean Aaron Carter. Ha-ha, tee-hee, banter, etc.
Where are we supposed to start, Miss Jackson?
Well, you can start with Henry's speech there on the top of page 34.
And no showing off. This is the theater.
Look, Lorna, it's all right with me
Oh, he's
if
good.
you see other men, but sometimes I think.
Henry, you know there's no one but you. Henry. The others are just faces. They don't mean a thing. Henry, do I really mean so much to you?
Am I supposed to do what it says here?
Yes, go ahead.
Copyright 1946,
You
Dramatist
mean
Publisher.
everything to me.
Somebody get the nurse.
Jim, you seem to think you can read this scene so well. Let's see you try it. Thanks, Harry. Marie, you'll read the lines with Jim.
In English this time.
Look, Lorna, it's all right with me if you see other men, but sometimes I think...
Henry, you know there's no one but you.
The students applaud his brave decision to play the character disabled.
George, will you read the lines with Marie?
And take off those stilts.
Look, Lorna.
People, Hygiene and You is a very serious play.
I don't think we'll go on with tryouts this afternoon.
Miss Jackson was tenured and had already spent her drama stipend.
What do you know? Tryouts are over already.
Good one. Singer.
Wow, what did you expect, funny boy?
Oh yeah, well you're a not leaving funny girl person.
Jim's wise guy behavior was beginning to wear a little thin with those of us who were exposed to it.
Pause time.
Poor Mrs. Jackson, who already had a headache, just couldn't take the one that Jim was creating for her. And so,
She drank.
the class play got off to a poor start. But enough wasn't enough for Jim.
He wanted blood.
It seemed as though he just couldn't stop until he'd finally gotten us all in a bad light. I remember it was at a party at Martha Harvey's house, and they were just serving refreshments.
I lost her signal, Captain. Jim's antics cut right to the funny bone.
I'll bet you can. I'll just bet you can't do it.
I bet I can.
I can too read
I don't
Sanskrit.
think you can.
Okay, just what?
He's spiking the fern.
Maybe I hadn't better.
I told you couldn't do it.
All right, I'll show you.
See, I am this stupid.
Hey, look out!
Oh, my best glass!
I had 3 payments left.
I told you couldn't do it.
Oh, I hope there's a caning.
Well, what's the matter? It's not the end of the world. I'll buy you some more glasses, Miss Harvey. Like you getting clumsy or something?
You tripped me.
See, kids, showing off isn't all glitz and girls and money.
I'm just sick about this glass and never will be able to replace it.
I'm sorry, Mother.
But
Don't know
jeez.
why you used your good crystal when you knew those young roughnecks were coming.
Oh, I wouldn't call them all roughnecks.
They're a-holes.
Well, a bunch of smart alecks then.
Daddy, most of the kids acted all right, and Jim and Frank didn't mean to break the glass.
She's a show-off
maybe not.
sympathizer.
But it makes you wonder about kids nowadays. In my day, when you were invited to a party, everybody was supposed to act like ladies and gentlemen.
President Adams insisted on
You
it.
can see how things were going. At first, it was just acting silly, when most of us really wanted to review for that quiz.
Uh-huh.
And then the teachers began to think of us as that class, because of the nuisances that some of the kids were making of themselves.
Oh,
And after the party, well, some of the parents began to wonder too.
it was just a glass.
But what happened later really cooked our goose.
Someone broke a
It
plate.
seems Jim had practically run out of new ideas for ways of calling attention to himself in school. And so, one night, with the help of some of his friends, he hatched up this plan that was really daring, even for him.
All right, guys, tonight we break 2 glasses. You know, it's very difficult to show off under a shroud of darkness. You have to give Jim credit. He does like a challenge. Jim and his cronies are going to hang a banner that says showing off rules.
People were pretty surprised, all right, when they came to school the next day.
It was Saturday.
Jim and his helpers had created a sensation. The big sign was about all you could see.
Where?
And it was evident that someone was going to have a difficult and dangerous time getting it down. Some joke.
Ha ha.
Maybe some of the members of the junior class got a kick out of it.
Yeah, juniors,
But some
woo!
of the other classes didn't think it was funny at all. They thought it was an eyesore on the whole school.
Well, they're a little biased, aren't they?
Our principal, I guess you know, was fit to be tied.
Any volunteers,
But
kids?
even worse was the way most of us in the class felt. That big sign, like a badge of dishonor for all the town to see.
It's the worst thing that's ever
Yes,
happened.
the word really got around about the junior class.
Enough, I can't bear to look upon it.
And that's what made us mad. The word that got around wasn't a true picture of the junior class as a class at all.
We're not proud at all, I
It
swear.
left out the good things we did, the fine play we put on, the important things we learned, and all the studying we did.
How dare you judge us?
No, our reputation belonged to Jim Brewster and the little gang around him, who still thought he was pretty funny.
I loathe him.
After school that afternoon, the principal called the officers of the junior class into a meeting. Several of our teachers were there.
Terms of surrender were negotiated.
I'm afraid this class has put itself in a bad light. The stunt that was pulled last night has made it very embarrassing for the whole school, and for me personally.
And my wife.
I've had several telephone calls from people who want to know what kind of a school we're running here. And frankly, I'd like to know myself.
Where am I?
What we want to know is, what's behind all this?
There's nothing behind it, Mr. Scott. It's just a bunch of smart alecks showing off. There's nothing malicious about it.
Chillax, brah.
Do you know who the ringleader is?
First I want immunity.
Do you, Kay?
Do I what?
Yes, we know.
It doesn't take news like that very long to get around.
You could understand my problem, can't you?
I'm a sex addict.
As far as the people outside of this school are concerned, I am responsible for what goes on here. When some members of the class do something to disgrace the class and the school,
Like having school
it's up to
spirit?
the other members of the class to do something about it.
Well, what can we do?
Have any of you ever complained to these people who show off? Or do you really encourage them by thinking they're cute?
Just scrumptious.
Have you ever tried anything like ignoring them?
Shut up, Tom.
Why do you suppose these people show off?
Don't they have enough to do?
Maybe I should shriek
You
at
asked me
them.
what you could do. I think you class officers should get together and discuss this problem among yourselves and come up with your own suggestions.
Your own
Then
scapegoats.
we'll meet here Wednesday afternoon and work this problem out together.
In the meantime, you all have
Thank you
detention.
all
Get
for
out of my
coming.
sight. Another community torn apart by off-showing.
Well, that's where we stand now.
Jim is to be hanged at
In a
sunup.
few minutes, our junior class officers are going to meet with the faculty committee.
Over here now.
If you were in our shoes, what would you do about the show-offs? What do you think?
Well, personally, I'd make public examples of Jim and his lieutenants, and then I'd lobotomize the remaining student body to ensure nothing like this ever happened again. Breaking classes and hanging banners.
Maybe I hadn't better.